Yes, when we're live.
Broadcast is live.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. We're live. It's been a while for me, but I'm excited to be here because I have a very special guest. His name is Scott Vogel, and he's the CEO of Be a Video Pro. And we're going to have a very interesting chat today. First of all, welcome, Scott.
Thank you, Gord. Great to be here and good to see you live again.
Yeah, I'm very excited. This is a topic I've been wanting to discuss for a long time because it's something that a lot of the people I help and the way I try to help people on my channel, it's about getting to the crux of the matter, the challenges with video tools. And so I wanted to first, as a means of getting us started, maybe you can introduce yourself and sort of tell us about your background, because I see you as a specialist now in both marketing and video. So you've like really, nice roots in both. And I think that's going to bring a lot of perspective to the conversation today.
Sure, Gord. I started out in the hospitality industry and realized early on that I loved speaking. And so I became a teacher. I started teaching restaurants, catering, and I soon got involved in associations. And I watched people speaking on the platform and said, I want to do that. And so I started hiring coaches and got really good at that. And then I realized, well, now I have to market myself. And so I started down that path of marketing with postcards and faxes way before we had this internet piece. And I started to get really, really good at the marketing piece and worked with some Fortune 100 companies, Disney, Marriott, Hyatt, Pepsi-Cola, Frito-Lay, et cetera, helping the market make more money. And then one day, about 6 years ago, I was studying a high-end marketing program, and I saw a doodle video, and I was like blown away. I was like, wow, I got to learn how to do that. So I started going out and started the journey. Like many of us, I'm sure, on the call, we find it, we get excited about it. I'm a copywriter. I build funnels, I build brands, the whole marketing side, the intricacies of that. And I realized how powerful video was because I was a platform speaker, a professional speaker, and that was live. The next best thing to that is making a video. And then the next best thing to that, as we know, is an animated type of video. Well, we already know that there's billions and billions and billions of dollars in the Star Wars trilogy and the Marvel universe and the James Bond and all of that. And so I realized I want to learn this video piece. And I've made well over 1,000 videos, and a lot of them in the beginning, Gord, were really bad because it took me forever. I didn't know the tools and this, and I just bought all kinds of things. And the combination now of the marketing and the sales piece with the video piece is what enabled me to say, you know what, I want to be a video pro. And so I went out and started hiring the best people I could. I found people like you years ago and started learning different pieces. And that's kind of how I got involved in this video creation world from the marketing world.
Yeah, I find it very fascinating that you the doodle videos when you got inspired to start. And I know Explainio is the product you're referring to, and you've created a top seller course on Udemy. Yeah. And I remember the frustration in trying to master that tool, because the tutorials and things that were available, on YouTube and from the creator of the software were very weak. So to really leverage the power of what was in there, you always had to beat it down, tear it apart, and go through trial and error and that. And what excites me is, because of what you've described to us here with your experience and knowledge in the marketing side of things, combined with your desire to fix some of these problems we're talking about in video, really makes for an exciting, future for what you're focused on and trying to do. And I haven't really heard of this kind of approach and done before, which I think is very fascinating for the world of video. And so let's dive in a little deeper into the topic now.
Sure.
And then thanks for that introduction. So the first question that I'm really curious about is, how do you know what type of video creation tools to use to get your message out, whether you're a marketer, whether you're a solopreneur or a corporation, and you may be a newbie, you may be an intermediate, or you may be, consider yourself like a pro level person and you can do everything yourself. Like, how do you, explore the path? Like, how would you guide someone to navigate that path? Because we don't really know that well where we sit on the continuum of skill, right?
Absolutely, Gord, because there's so many different ways to enter into video creation. There's those are like, Michael Daniel just said, I'm a newbie. Well, a newbie like me was 6.5 years ago. It's like, I want to do this stuff. And yeah, Easy Sketch Pro was my first one. And that just didn't do it for me. It was so basic. And then I found Explainio, which was so complicated. It was so deep. And as you mentioned, I created a course after spending hours searching YouTube and watching hour-long videos to get one piece of information. And that's why the Explainio Excellence course, which was 247 videos, was exact. Here's how you do it so you can get back to creating videos. So, it's about the tool. Unfortunately, there's so many bright and shiny objects out there with Warrior Forum and JV Zoom.
And I love testing all kinds of them.
Well, it's like, wow, this great next thing that's going to do this, when in essence, the important piece is to create a professional looking video that gets your message out to the world fast and gets people to act on whatever that is. If you're a corporation and you want people to visit your business or buy or look at your product, that's got to be a focused video. If you're a small business and you spend all day running your business and you just need to create a little video to help promote it, you're a restaurant, you're a doctor, you're a therapist, a yoga teacher, a video creator, that's another piece. You're a hobbyist, you are a pastor and you want to share a sermon. Everybody falls into different categories, but where they enter in finding a video creation tool, because we've talked about this, Gord, you've got the high end, that the learning curve is huge. The Camtasias, the ScreenFlows, the Adobe After Effects, that there's so many pieces. The layers are deep. The average person isn't going to go and click on behaviors and go find this and annotation. They're like, I want to share a video of myself talking with maybe some text. And then you've got the WYSIWYGs. What you see is what you get. There's the Canvas and the Sparks, and then a whole host of other, every week, a new video software is launched. And it depends on the control you want of your message and how fast and easy it is.
I think this is a very good point, because to me, it's almost like dealing with a cross section of a few variables here. For example, some people say, oh, I love the coolness of that video and I want to be able to recreate that. Yeah. But how much time do they have? how sort of like technically capable are they? How good or difficult is the learning curve, right?
Right.
And I think that's why, when I experienced with, the product we're going to be talking about today,
Right.
Fast Video, the near 50 videos that you put together, and I go like, holy cow, this is amazing, because people will be able to definitely be able to navigate and feel and execute on the tool and be up and started, very quickly. So I think the training part is so important, because it's very easy to just go to Google and try and find your way with a lot of these big tools out there. And I did that myself for things like DaVinci Resolve, and I found myself, there's just a chasm of stuff to learn, and everybody is showing it through a different example and whatever. And I think a very organized and well thought out way to deliver the body of the material is so important, especially for the newer to intermediate people, to sort of get inspired and not give up, because let's face it, everyone and would want a silver bullet, right? As I just hear Joey saying in
Yeah.
my head, we were
We
going to
want a
say,
magic, we want a magic button. We want to click something and make it happen. And so
Yeah.
when looking at software, it's important to see the software in use. If you're going to buy something, don't rely on the sales letter. Look at the tool, see it being used. Show me how fast it is to use it, how simple I could do to sit down in 15, 20 minutes, get my video up and out. You have an idea. That's what inspired the software that we created. Was for years, I'd have an idea, like I want to make a video. And so I'd sit down and I'd have to open Camtasia and explain to you, and this one and that one and this and that. And then I'd have to go to Isman to do this. And at the end of the day, or Easy Video Lab, or there's all the different ones. And at the end of the day, it was hours and I didn't have a video done. And
yeah, it's bringing out the Swiss Army knife and having a dull knife blade here, and a scissor that works okay, and a file that's so, but somehow you manage to piece it together like it's a project, right?
Yeah, I want to be able to sit down and just get it done.
Mm-hmm.
And you take a Camtasia, which is an amazing piece of software that I love, that I use to edit huge projects and do long. When I need to get something done fast, I need to be able to find a scene template that I can animate the text, change the colors, change the images, have some control over what I need to do, rather than just, well, here's your template. You could change the text, maybe add a little bit, change the image, and there's not a lot more than that. And maybe you have a music piece that's only a certain length, and you're done. If that's what you're looking for, then those tools are perfect for you. If you need a little bit more control, you want to find something that has a simple user interface. Again, from using all these tools that you and I have talked about, the interface has got to be easy, simple. I don't want to be like, I got to do this. Where do I find it? Now I got to go look at the manual or find a video. Oh, I got to click here to click here to click here to do that thing. And so in looking for good tools, it's the user interface, it's the user experience. And as you said, Gord, it's being able to sit down and be done with something to promote your idea, your business, before the opportunity passes. And
and I want to add another element there, and that's the whole aspect of, there's a bit of a creator in each one of us.
Yeah.
And so I find I don't want to get stuck with the blank page syndrome.
Right.
And so, being able to have a starting point, and this is something that you've addressed very well in Fast Video Creator, with a huge number of templates for doing a lot of social video and other event videos and different kinds of things. I've never seen like so much available stuff, and to not have to worry about starting with a blank slate. And I'm one of those people that just loves taking a template and then, adding a little bit of my extra pizzazz to it to come up with some cool creation, and because it's not just like those cloud-based tools. You have the ability to add those extra dimensions to make that something truly branded as your own. So you have an amazing head start. You could leave it kind of as is with just some substitutions and some basic changes, or you can add things and do stuff to take it to that next level, which I think a lot of those kind of cloud-based tools don't have the flexibility to do.
Agreed. There are a lot of those cloud-based tools are kind of rigid in the templates. There's only a few things you can change because it's in the cloud and you don't have the control of it. I want to be able to have control of everything. And as you said, when I first started and I hired some brilliant video designers and creators because I wanted to learn. And that's what I do when I want to learn. I hire people. When I was a professional speaker, I went out and hired the top speakers to teach me how to do what they did. And I started working with a brilliant video designer, creator, and I realized after a while, that's how Be a Video Pro started, I was like, I didn't even realize there was a thing called design principles. Like if I was going to put a model in a scene to portray somebody frustrated, and then I was going to put a chat bubble with a saying that related to the idea in my script, I'm like, where do I put the bubble? Where do I put the pointer? Where do I put the text? If a model is pointing, is it on the fingers? And I started to learn all of that. And then micro stories and pattern interrupt that keep the viewer engaged in. And not everybody has the time to learn that over a period. People see a video or realize, look, we can all agree that video is the single most effective way to market, promote anything. Video mimics life. And we want to see life. Why? We go to movies. Why? Because we want the emotions and the feelings behind it. And a good video will do that. But we have jobs. We have lives. We're not all sitting all day in a video creation business. We want to find something. And that's where the scene concept came from. Other people call it templates.
Yeah.
And because, as you said, we've got we went out and found some amazing creative designers who put together not just, okay, here's Bill and here's Lisa, cartoon characters coming in with a 2D animation scene behind it. I want overlays and I want glitter and sparkle if I want that. And I don't want 1,000 things. Again, Explaindio, I remember when I did the training, there were, I don't know how many hundreds of ways to animate text. I don't really think that text needs to spin in like a tornado, jump up and down and do a somersault. Text has to come in and say, video content creation tools. Maybe it fades, maybe it comes in to capture attention, but the cognition, we get cogged with things. Like you look at a font on a website and I can't read it. Well, my brain's going, what does that mean? I've lost the message. So that's where, as you said, the scenes became such a wonderful tool because I could sit down, take a scene, edit it, and I'm done. I've got my video out.
Yeah. I was thinking, when you talk about a scene, like when I look at what some of the creators have created, I can tell the hours that have gone into the creative side of this. Yeah. And I sat there and I analyzed, I go, if I tried to come up with this myself, and the fact that I can just like replace a few things, change the colors and do that stuff that I can't do in a cloud-based solution and do some tweaks, I go like, holy cow, I can do this thing in 20 minutes or half an hour with one of the more complex ones. And it's like, wow, this is like really cool. And it didn't take me forever to do. So that part I really love about it. And I just should use this as a moment to introduce the fact that tomorrow Scott is hosting an event where he's going to like do a premiere event of Fast Video Creator for us all and have some great bonuses if people are interested in buying. And I'm really excited about it because a lot of these things he's describing that we're kind of like discussing today, that sort of describe the challenges people have when they're making decisions on a video tool or how to go about, finding the right one. You're going to get to see it in action tomorrow. So there's details in the description below, and I also have some information here that's showing at the bottom of the screen now that you can see if you want to sign up to come and join the event, and whether you can make it or not, there'll be a replay available. So now that I got that all over with, let's continue our exciting conversation. So what I wanted to ask you, and because this is going to be true for a lot of the people that follow me, as you know, I've built a lot of my channel on using something like Camtasia.
Yeah.
So we know the power of it and how amazing it is. How do I complement using something like Fast Video Creator with a Camtasia? Can you give us like an understanding of how you would marry them?
Definitely. I love Camtasia for doing my training because Camtasia has the ability for me to do screen capture. I can quickly edit. I can move things around. When it comes to, though, creating my content, whether it's for a social media ad, whether it's just for a short video, whether it's for a marketing promo piece, in Camtasia, I got to go deep and find things to put it all together. Whereas you look at a software like Fast Video Creator, and the name came about because I selfishly wanted to be able to create videos fast. And if I showed you my desktop and all the software I bought, like I'm sure many on the call, Gord, I have lists of all the software I bought and tried and used, and the promise of whatever it was going to do didn't live up to it. Mm-hmm. I would spend time doing poor tutorials, didn't do what it was supposed to, and I'd be like, I'm done, I'm out of here, I give up. And I'd either refund or I'd just say it's not even worth my time. And then the assets that I bought over the years. Your bonuses of assets, get 5,000 things. I download them, fill up my hard drives, and then I go find something that I maybe find 2 things I can use, if that. So I like to take scenes that I'll create and put them in Camtasia and put them together. And maybe I'm not a big transition guy. That's just my personal thing. But I might put a transition in. I might want to play around with different elements that Camtasia allows me to do. Now I predominantly use it for the screen capture and the editing. I'll do a zoom. We might take this and split it apart. Fast Video Creator is not an editor of that power to split things apart and take an hour-long video. Its goal is to make short videos fast, 2, 3, 4-minute videos with multiple scenes that I can bring in my assets fast and create text and text animation fast and bring in my videos. Or if I have, if I just want to do direct to cam and say, hi, this is Scott, and today I want to share with you this amazing new module that we just came out that nobody has ever seen before. That's going to enable you to take a scene, edit it in 10 minutes, turn it into an animated SVG and put it on a web page that's clickable.
Wow.
Okay.
That's remarkable.
Yeah. And take that and bring that in, and then maybe have some text over a background, maybe have another video, some animations, and a call to action, and be done with it.
Yeah. I can see, sorry to interrupt. I can see, creating all kinds of elements. And I think because people really want to create some interesting stuff for social media, as an example, they may have stuff that they've recorded, longer screen recorded, and they want to take snippets and repackage them, but have like a cool intro and something on the exit and just sort of wrap it nicely. And, Fast Video Creator is excellent for all of that. And imagine being able to have, a whole bunch of social media templates and being able to like very quickly put snippets in and then produce something. And it's like, wow, it has some flair. It looks professional, and bang, I'm done. Whereas some of these other products that are like maybe, like you said, deeper in certain aspects of editing to do things, are not really geared as much for this kind of like adding more pizzazz to videos in a shorter form, for lack of a better way of describing it.
Well, you brought up an excellent point, Gord.
Yeah.
And that's okay. We'll take a Camtasia and I've got a long video. Maybe it's a presentation that you made on your product, your service, your message, your idea, your inspiration, whatever it is. And you want an opener and you want a closer. You want an intro and an outro. You want to find a tool that enables you to go, okay, I like that one. Let me put my brand colors in my logo. Let me change the text. There's my intro. Done. Rendered. Bring it into Camtasia. Now I want an outro that shows my website, my Facebook, my YouTube, my Instagram, and a call to action. Put it up, edit it, done, change it. My colors, my logo, my text, my brand, and you're done. That to me is what we need to look for when we're looking at tools. And a user interface that I can be right there and do everything with a few clicks. Say, okay, I changed the color, I changed the text, I changed the animation, and not have to go, oh, where was that thing again that I have to find? It's like, oh boy, let me go. And then a half hour later, it's like, oh, okay, I don't have any time anymore. I got to go back to my real world.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's an interesting point. Like the products, Fast Video Creator is engineered for simplicity in the UI, so you don't have to deal with a multitude of panels in order to do animations, to do the properties changes on various things. And it's sort of like got the, a reasonable amount of sophistication without going too crazy. And I think that's like part of like the balancing edge that you want to maintain, I guess, in the architecture and design of the product. That's what I see. So
I agree, Gord. Let me that's a challenge with some software is the user interface and user experience is where do you find everything? It should be really simple. And if it's something that's really, like you get into Adobe and Adobe After Effects and all that, that's just a world that I don't want to play in. My creators, my designers, they're playing there. And they're spending the money and the hours figuring things out and saying, well, I could do that in 10 minutes in the software. Now, is it going to enable you to do some of that stuff? No. The average video creator that's wanting to make videos is not that upper 1% who is doing video design. That's why we like having them to use those tools to bring it into the software. And we're going to show it tomorrow. Today is not about showing Fast Video Creator or any of that. That's what the live premieres are about tomorrow. Today is more sharing with your audience, with your tribe, some important elements of. It's like we talk about a lot of the WYSIWYGs, and each week a new tool comes out by the promoter of all promoters. And you have to have this because it's the next best text to speech or the next best character, or these characters are better than the 8 million characters you've already got, or this is the next best. No, the next best thing is you go to the movies to watch a movie. It's not like, hey, we just came out with the greatest new type of movie that nobody's ever seen before. You go to a movie because you want to see the characters and you want to get involved in the story, not because if you look at when movies came out in theaters, not much has changed. The sound's gotten better, the screens have gotten better, the chairs have gotten better. But the movie, they're still taking captures of the actors and actresses and models doing their thing, sharing their message, their thoughts, ideas, and emotions. So we need to, when we look at video creation tools, saying, how can I do that and not be like, well, within 3 clicks, you can have a video that you strip from YouTube and add this thing and then send it out to every known social media platform on the planet. Well, that's going away next week because it's not going to last. And then you've got this cloud-based thing that you can't use anymore.
Yeah. So what do you say to people that are producing courses? How can something like Fast Video Creator complement that effort?
I'm going to kind of answer that with the word shot list. And I did a video on how to create a shot list, because to me, a shot list is a vital piece, or a storyboard, whatever you want to call it. And I love creating courses. And in my courses, I am not going to do talking head, even though I'm very good from years of training on the platform. If I have a live audience, that's a different story. But when somebody's looking at me, we all know, Gord, that human beings, there was a study done by Microsoft in Canada, that the actual human attention span is less than a goldfish.
Yeah.
And we know that if you look at a movie, at a TV show, it used to be every 7 seconds, the camera angle would change, the scene would change. Now it's more like every 3 to 5 seconds. Why? Because the brain gets tired and says, even if you're listening to the most amazing speaker, you're still going to get, stop paying attention. I'm going to go think about this and that and that. So for those that are making courses, it's really important to take and tighten that message up to the shortest possible script, and then shot list it and say, okay, I'm introducing an important topic here. I'm going to put that as text over background because I want their focus on that. Then I'm going to share an idea that involves emotion, feeling. I'm going to find a model that represents that, maybe with text. And now I've got another idea. Let me find some footage that shows what I'm talking about, because then the material is learned much more effectively.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because
I mean,
if you talk ad nauseum,
yeah,
people won't remember anything.
Yeah, it's amazing if you can, do a good job at telling a story somehow to get the teaching across. People are much more easily able to connect with it and learn it and retain it, right? And I think that makes a big difference. So, what do you say to people? Okay, like, I'm a solopreneur. There's corporations. There's companies that corporations that have like training. They do stuff in different departments. They have support group service things. How has selecting tools for different purposes in these kind of different scenarios fit with looking at something like using Fast Video Creator or Camtasia and with like these other kinds of tools? So how do you see people being able to use this? Because I've been thinking that all along that video's not nearly used as much as it could in places, because they're just not aware that in some capacity it's not that complicated to do, and they could reach a lot more people and get a lot more connection by producing some shorter and more to the point videos and produce them more quickly if they just research to find the right technology to get the stuff done.
Wow, you got like a lot of questions in there, Gord. So
that's one of my habits.
Let me kind of go backwards. Shorter and more to the point videos. That is crucial. First of all, for speed of video creation. I think my first video I ever made was 18 minutes long. For a client, 200 hours to make that. We know that to make a minute of video is like 2 to 3 hours per minute by the time the script and the shot list and finding the assets and then creating it and editing it. Short to the point. So I'm moving backwards. You look at corporations who have to share important information, and they do it by text or by email. We don't read anything anymore. When's the last time you heard about an article going viral? You don't. What goes viral? Videos. What kind of videos? Short, entertaining videos. So for corporate America, if you've got to educate your team on a new procedure, a new policy, from now on, we need to be doing X, Y, and Z in order to accomplish A, B, and C. Well, instead of sending out a memo, what if it was a short video that said just what I said? We now have a new mandate in order to make it safer for our employees to deal with our buyers. We're instituting these 3 things, and here's how it works. Boom, boom, boom. That's a minute. I make a video. I get it done and fast and out. And now all of a sudden people are like, hey, did you see that video? No. Oh, it's on your phone. It's on here. So that's the corporate America piece of it. Then you get the solopreneur who is like, okay, we've got a new special in the restaurant. We have a sale on a new product. I just got a great deal on a new piece of merchandise, a new line of clothing. So you put out a little video. I want to teach people how to do X, a little technique on something that they need to learn that might get them interested enough. A short video, respect time. Mm-hmm. If we can get, again, if you look at the training videos that we did for the software, and we took a lot of time, there's 47 of them, mm-hmm. They're no longer than 3 or 4 minutes because I want you to learn what you need to learn. We created something even cooler, Gord, which is, you know about the 30-day bonus follow-up sequence. Mm-hmm. So not only do we add a lot of scenes and assets into the software, but the first day you get 4 new scenes with one of our designers teaching you how to edit it and make it your own. That you can make it your own as many times as you want and sell it and just recreate it because you've just learned how. And then the next day there's a book promo scene. Well, I don't write a book. No. So instead of the book, you replace it with your product, service. The next day is another scene. And each day, then there's, by the way, we're going to teach you some really cool tricks on how to go to Pixabay and find some images that you probably don't know how to do. And then the next day. And so what you're doing is in 5 or 3 or 2 or 6 minutes, you're learning these skills to make you a better video creator. Yep. And that's key to it. So you look
I agree. If I can interrupt there, please. Because I think this is such an important part because, you know, like you said, a lot of the products, I mean, I was guilty for years of just consuming shiny object after shiny object. And it's because most of the time it tackled one amazing thing, but then it was just, you know, another piece to put into the patchwork in order to get a solution. But I also found that, you know, the tutorials, the training was very weak, and no one's taken this approach. And that's why I want people to understand, be a video pro as a company because of your background in marketing and in video is uniquely tackling how to empower the creator to actually really learn the skill and learn to produce the product, you know, just by, you know, osmosis that if you're now in the ecosystem, we're going to educate you kind of like in an ongoing way, which I think is very powerful. And like you said, because they're going to be short trainings, I think it just will help people move the bar and gain the confidence, because this is what happens a lot, right? People start out with a technology and then they get to a certain, I'll call it base level of competency, and they kind of like get by, but inside they're often unhappy that they're not like up here and they're down here. And they just don't know how to tackle it. That's why they come to people like me to help them. But I've grinded for hours, right? A lot on my own, trying to experiment and break things apart. And that's what I find different. Because like you said, well, maybe I'm not going to be putting together this particular thing, but wait a sec. It's a 5-minute video. I'll watch it. I'll learn something. And holy cow, I now learned another dimension on how to creatively use the product. And I didn't have to expend like experimental lost time to like hack it. You know what I mean?
The thousands of hours that you and I combined have invested trying to figure things out, where like I'll get on a call with one of our designers, creators, and we'll give away a bunch of scenes and teach them how to use those scenes. Now, in all transparency, on those calls, we're going to say, hey, this creator just made this incredible new collection of scenes. I want to teach you how to use them. I'm going to give you a whole bunch of them. You want the rest of them? Here's a special offer. But we're not just coming out and saying, hey, here's this new thing to buy that you'll probably never use. It's look, get on a call, ask any questions, get this stuff for free. Like in the sequence, on the 10th day, we give away an entire scene collection. Has 5 different scenes in 7 different colors, which basically means you could take it, rebrand it, recolor it, sell it, do anything you want with it, and then we'll teach you how to use it. And so by the end of 30 days, our goal is that you've learned so many skills and tools that you want to continue on. And so there's marketing within the marketing. It's not just we're going to launch the next thing and next week we have a new software that teaches you how to do this. Each week is a new tool, a new module.
Yeah.
And we're like, we listen to our people. That's in our mission statement.
Yeah.
We continue to listen. You've been very instrumental in the software, making suggestions that, that would make sense. And what do? We implement it. It's not, no offense, but we didn't hire a group of offshore people to create a software, do a slick VSL with one of the promoters, send it to JV Zoo, try and make $1 million, and then move on to the next thing. It's selfish, I've told you, because I love making videos. You know, I do yoga every day in the studio. That's 37 steps behind me. And I want to I just had a great class. I want to share something. I want to make a video. I'm done. And some of the
That's a great point. I often go, you know what? I feel I'm in the creative mood now. But then I contemplate, no, it's going to take too long what I want to do. Exactly. Or, you know what? I think I can do this in 15 minutes. I'm going to do it. And I think this is what you guys have solved, because part of the fun is now right inside the tool, I can just go navigate for some scenes and go, I like that one, or I like this one. And I wanted to, we talked about this a bit, but just tie it into, in a cloud-based solution, although they may have all kinds of different template things that they put in there, you're compared to a desktop solution, which is what Fast Video Creator is, you don't have, you're bound by the limits of the design with a few substitutions that they show you in a cloud-based solution. Here we're talking about, that's why when you do these other educational pieces, we're learning exactly how to okay, I learned how to work with the template, but now because I can see how the bits go together, because I have all of that level of information in the application. So yeah, it may look like a little bit intimidating with all the blocks and things like that, but it's also very visual once you see and appreciate how it's put together and how you can do a lot of the basics. And so you'll start to learn, and as you grow your skill, you can choose to add more dimension to it, or take, and I often will have a design and I'll go, you know what, I don't like this or that there, and I'll remove those elements from it and I'll put something else in, or I'll change the colors, or I'll fix the animation to go a little differently, or slow it up or speed it up. And you can do all of that. And I'm saying it's very powerful that way to have this kind of solution. And so again, it gives you the I can work with something that's almost canned, and I just can do some substitutions and color changes, or I can deep dive if I want to, was what I was trying to say.
Gord, we had a decision on cloud-based or desktop, and we put a lot of thought into it, and the decision was cloud-based. I'm sure you, like me and many others on the call or watching the replay, have bought things over the years that are cloud-based, and you go to log into them a year later, and guess what? They're gone.
Not around.
Not around anymore. Plus, I'm reliant on their servers, the internet.
Well, you know what? One of the things I used to do with some of the most successful software that had some of the most incredible effects, but it'll go oh, darn, it does this thing and it covers 2/3 of the screen and I can't change it. Yes, I can change, substitute my own image in, or I can change the colors, but you know what? Because this spin or rotation or blow up thing covers 2/3 of the screen. So I would literally, okay, so I'll leave certain elements out, so I'll get some space. I know I can render something, take it out, shrink it in a way, stretch it, add more space on the canvas, and ultimately figure out a way to hack and achieve what I want. Right. So I'm saying all of those things I just described, you don't have to worry about. You can do this with it when the tool is not cloud-based and fixed like that.
Right.
So its flexibility is at a whole other level. So that's why I'm saying I feel like it fills a gap that hasn't really been, so prevalent in
Yeah.
a lot of products out there.
Good point. Flexibility and control. I want the flexibility and I want control. I want control of what I'm doing. I don't want somebody else controlling and telling me what to do. There are great cloud-based softwares out there. Again, we mentioned things like Canva. Canva is a great platform, and Spark. We could debate the merits. We just decided that, hey, if you go away for 2 weeks and you want to make some videos, well, you got a desktop software. If you go to the middle of nowhere and you want to take your laptop, and while the family's out doing something, there's no internet, that to me was more important than the cloud base, where I'll have a launch price and then we keep upping things.
Yeah. So I think it's, sorry, did you want to, I also think it's very important for people to understand, like, some of those cloud-based solutions have their own kind of like marketplace in that. Well, you are filling that void by having like several designers creating templates, scenes for use in Fast Video Creator. So I think that's kind of a unique piece to the puzzle too. And I think that accommodates something that people often want is more options to, again, not look at that blank page. And I think that's a very useful feature or aspect of what your long-term mission is, right? About continuing to bring out collections.
Yeah, blank stage syndrome. That is one of the 3 top challenges in video creation. Same thing with writing copy. Okay, I'm going to write some copy today. So you open up, either you take your pad with a pen and sit down and go, what am I going to write? Or you open up a Word doc and you go, okay, what am I going to write? You get a sentence and you're like, what's next? Same thing with video. Again, we teach shot listing, where it's like, okay, and the tool has to be able to enable you to do what you're good at. That's a really important piece. So if you're good at talking head videos, then you want a tool that's going to enable you to bring in talking head videos. If you're good at copy, then you want a tool that's going to enable you to bring in text fast and simple. If you're good with imagery and you want to do photorealism, if you're good with micro stories, you want something that's going to, and as you build a shot list, you want a software that says, okay, what's the lowest hanging fruit? I know if I need to do a video fast, I'm going to get on and do a screen recording, me talking to you. Okay, I just got rid of these many scenes in my video. Next, I'm going to look at what can I do screen capture. That's fast. I don't have to worry. Next, I'm going to look at video footage, because video footage is another fast way to fill up time. If I've got a 5 to 6 second shot and I find a perfect video that conveys that, boom, 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 I go down the shot list. And then I get to text over backgrounds. And we created these backgrounds called text drops because I could never find a good background. I spend 45 minutes, and one day I'm driving home from yoga, and I called up my consultant and I said, well, why don't we make our own? And he's like, duh. So we're constantly looking at it from how do we help people faster, market better, which is why our communities exist of amazing people to support them. It's not just get the software, have a nice life. It's no, join the community, join the family. If this is what you want to do, then I've always believed in that, is helping people grow. And we've talked about this. There's a great movie, Catch Me If You Can. I don't think you ever saw it. Frank Abernathy was able to impersonate doctors, lawyers, school teachers, airline pilots. And when they finally caught him, and I think Tom Hanks plays the FBI guy in the movie, and Leonard DiCaprio plays Abernathy. And when they finally catch him and he's interviewed, they're like, look, we kind of understand, but how did you impersonate a college professor teaching physics? He's like, it was easy. I just had to read one chapter ahead of the class. And that's kind of how we look at this. Is we like to stay a few chapters ahead. We're looking, I'm on with the development team saying, what's next? What's next? What's next? What are we going to do? What are we going to add? It's like everyone's like, when are you coming out with Doodle? We're like, okay, that's in the future. That's a module that's coming. But right now, it's more important to do this thing. When are you going to have things that do that? We're not going to have things that do that. It doesn't make sense for creating videos fast. Well, what about the characters that look like they're humans? Well, they're not humans. And to me, we haven't gotten to the point where I can put a character on the screen that's talking that I don't say, you're not a human being. I don't believe you.
Yeah.
I don't know where we went from that one, Gord.
Yeah. So what I like about, where a lot of this leads to is, and those who join us tomorrow for our event, where you're actually going to walk through the software and show some things and talk more about what Be a Video Pro as a training and education organization is going to bring to the table to help people. I think like that combined with the software makes it for like a real, killer package to help people, people like me. That's why I got all excited and came in as a founder, because I know my strength is not the marketing side. And because I know you for years and some assistance I've got from you on things, I go, wow, can you imagine I'm going to be part of a community where I can, work with the power strength I have in the creation of the video, and, by osmosis, being around marketing experts, grow on that way too. It's like a win-win. And I think it's very powerful. And we're going to talk more about that tomorrow. You're going to explain some of that. So again, I'd like to, thank you, Scott, for, such a great talk today. And I hope some people learned some good things about how to look at the content creation tools out there, what their needs are, what will, where, and understand and appreciate where their skill level may fit in the continuum of tools out there, and what choices they can make to help them get to the end result, which is to do something to get your message out without having to kill yourself in the process of doing it. And I'll never forget, I heard on the Monetized Live Streaming Summit last week that was hosted by Ross Brand. They had Michael Kinney on, and he's done everything from in front of the camera, behind the cameras, video editing and everything. And he says, for some, video editing is a labor of love, but for many it isn't. And people typically take for granted how much work it really involves to craft something that's creative and do that work, right? And a lot of people just, they're like freaked out when they hear what kind of effort it may take to produce certain kinds of things. So, I think, if people come tomorrow, they're going to learn and see more about the potential of these kinds of tools to help them through that and evolve and develop their skills to be better creators and leverage, working with a group of people, the community, and really grow to another level of, I'll call it productivity, for them to do what they want to do with getting video out there.
And thank you. It's just another excellent point. Regardless of what software you decide to go with, you want to find something that has a community of people that are going to help you. That was one of the biggest struggles early on as I began this journey, was there weren't groups that really helped you out. There weren't people that were like, hey, let me help you out. Somebody messaged me earlier today and something they couldn't figure out. I jumped on a Zoom call with them. I'm not saying that, that's what I do with the thousands of users, but we have a support portal. We have training. We have a community. It's not like, great, you bought the software, good luck. What kind of help are you going to get? And that's really vital, because you could have a great piece of software. About a year ago, before I even got into building Fast Video Creator, I was doing some training with some funnels. And we went and looked at all of the free resources, the DaVinci Resolves and the Shotcut and the Filmoras and that. We were like, okay, what is the simplest one that we could teach people how to use? And we decided on Shotcut. And we did a training on how to use Shotcut, to use our assets. It was so complicated to figure out how to go into this level and this depth and this. And I had some people go through it and they're like, I never finished the video, Scott. And so we are really committed to that in teaching people. We do regular video reviews and shot list reviews and script reviews. I'll look at a script and say, hey, you know, change this, do that, that. It will work better. And then it's like, okay, great. Now you made the video. Let me make some suggestions here, here, and here that are going to help this video become even more effective.
You know, it's funny you should say that, because it made me think of my foray into filmmaking in the last few years, where I got to work at a school out here where I live in the country and learn from a filmmaker that does movies for television and Netflix, etc. And he helped me learn the higher level skills in working with a tool like DaVinci Resolve, and being able to have that support while I'm working on my first little short film was just profound. Like, I mean, the benefits I got from being able to get exposed to that kind of skill and look at things in ways that would never have crossed my mind just made me gain a lot more confidence to move forward and indulge and enjoy. Whereas when I first opened something like DaVinci Resolve, I was just like, this is giving me a headache just to look at what's in here. Well, now I feel like at home with the product, right?
Right, but the learning curve was steep, and not everybody has the time or commitment or desire. And so, when you look at a video creation tool, what is that learning curve, and how are they going to help you shorten that learning curve so that, again, and that's why I was adamant from the beginning, was after you get 30 days worth of training from us, if you haven't decided you love this, then you probably are just not for video creation. Keep everything that you've gotten, which is going to be a lot of things, and good luck with the journey. Not just saying that in a bad way, but I believe that, and I do this a lot with my clients, is you buy something. Most companies do not teach them how to consume what they just bought. You buy the thing, you take it home, and you're like, what now? How do I use it? How do I make this thing more powerful? I bought a circular saw, okay? I'm not saying, but okay, what if there was, let me first show you how to cut 2x4s into equal sections. Great. Now let me show you how to cut a 2x2. Now let me show you how to do a 4x4. Then by the time you've taught me all the things, it's like, wow, I could go build something now. So let's see, I find live streaming is really helpful. We do streaming at the Walt Disney parks and having so much fun. I love Disney. Talk about video.
Yeah, and live streaming is like so easy to do in the sense that, I mean, if you get over all the issues around getting on camera and all that, and your game, like, I mean, it's endless what you can record and do, and then you never know, you could choose to take clips and things and package them up and share them, just add a little more pizzazz to them, and there's so many options with what's out there. So Scott, again, I'd like to thank you so much. And I really look forward to tomorrow, where we're going to take a bit of a deeper dive and showcase the software and take more questions and have a special offer for the people. And if anybody missed us live today, there's links in the video below, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. And there'll be a replay if you sign up, if you can't make it, and look forward to seeing you. And thanks again, Scott.
Thanks very much, Gord. I appreciate you having me. I'm really excited about tomorrow because there's some surprises that I don't even know about yet.
Oh, cool.
I'm going to go to yoga. You're welcome, Richard. Thank you, all of you, for being here. Michael, Seben, everyone that's been with us today on the live, we appreciate you for taking time out of your valuable day. Thank you, Paul and the Friedman Group. And Petra, I always love seeing you, and Michael and Ben. Jim, Marcos, Rana, all of you. Thank you for supporting Gord. And Gord,
take care.
It's great to see you back live.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be back, and I'm really enjoying this. And thank you for for doing this today to share with everyone.
My pleasure.
Okay. All right. Bye, everyone. Bye.